Hello, welcome to Boxing in Your Face. Well, 2 weeks from now, you're going to have the International Boxing Hall of Fame, which starts June 7th to the 10th. The induction day is Sunday the 10th. And unfortunately, that weekend, you have big fights here in Las Vegas. You have Manny Pacquiao fighting Tim Bradley. And it's going to be a great weekend for boxing. Friday night at the Hard Rock, Saturday at the MGM Hotel. And unfortunately, Mike Buffer, Freddie Roach, Al Bernstein, those three individuals are going to be inducted. Most likely going to be working because, of course, Freddie trains Manny, and Mike, the voice Buffer, will be announcing the fights as a ringside announcer. So it's going to be tough. I don't know about Al Bernstein, but they're all going to be inducted on the 10th. So most likely they're going to catch the red eye. But for you fans, as you all know, that last year I got my ring. This is a trophy ring that I tell you, this is a dream come true for anybody in boxing. And you don't want to miss that weekend. Starting on the 7th, which is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you're going to have a great weekend with some of the greatest champions of all times at the Hall of Fame. Now, that weekend, when I was there last year, and I've been there several other times in the past, it's a fulfilled week of nothing but champions, autograph signing, picture opportunities. I mean, photo opportunities with these fighters is just the best thing you can go back home with if you're a real, true boxing fan. Ed Brophy, the director of the International Boxing Hall of Fame, is always trying to raise the bar to make the Hall of Fame induction one of the best weekends ever. Well, you know, Tommy Hearn's being inducted, Johnson, Too Sharp Johnson, Al Bernstein, Freddie Roach, Michael Buffer, Michael Katz, 6 inductees. It's going to be a great weekend. You don't want to miss out on this fabulous weekend. It's one of the best weekends you ever want to have in your life if you're a true boxing fan. Now, when I went up there last year, I can recall when I got that call from Ed Brophy letting me know that my name was on the ballot. And that was in December of 2010. And I couldn't wait for the day when he said, your name is on the ballot. Then I got the official call a couple of months later, letting me know, yes, that I was going to be inducted at the Hall of Fame 2011. And to me, that was the biggest thrill of my life. It's a dream come true for anybody in boxing, especially the fighters. I mean, the fighters are the ones that really are very well deserving of this great award. But there's individuals like myself and Mike Buffer and Freddie Roach and a lot of individuals that are not, did not get there by being fighters. Sylvester Stallone is another one who got inducted last year. But it's an honor to be amongst an elite group like that in the Hall of Fame. So I just want to say that that weekend you don't want to miss. But you know what? To get to the Hall of Fame, there's a lot of things that go on in your life. And that's very important. How do you get there? You maintain yourself clean. No drugs. You know, drugs is something that's really tarnishing the sports of contact sports, whether it's mixed martial arts, boxing, whatever, baseball, football. You hear a lot about this enhancing drugs of the fighters or the athletes, baseball, football, whatever. It's a no-no in the sport. If you want to get to that elite group to make it into the Hall of Fame, you don't want to have an asterisk next to your name saying, well, he got there, but, you know, the people are going to have you like, well, your name, your reputation is tarnished when you do something, even though you may pay the fine and whatnot, but you don't want that on your record. You want to get into the Hall of Fame, or if you don't make it into the Hall of Fame, people can never point fingers at you and say, oh, that guy, he knocked out this guy, or he beat this guy in this game, basketball, football, whatever sport. You want to make sure you get there with a clean record. You don't want that asterisk next to your name, because that's a no-no in any sport. But I go around to the schools and I go to the gyms and I talk to these young kids about maintaining a clean life, keeping yourself physically fit, mentally prepared, no drugs, no smoking. You know, you got to be very dedicated to the sport. So if you really want to make it to the top with the elite group, keep yourself clean, dedicate yourself to the sport that you love so much. You know, get there so one day when you retire, you can look in the mirror and say to yourself, you know, I made it the right way. You know, be very proud of your accomplishments. It's not every day that you can get to that elite group, but you always strive to be the best. I was watching yesterday the PAL boxing out of Oxnard, California. They had about 60, 70 fights. I watched the first 40 on the internet, and it was amazing because I watched these young kids and, you know, climbing up the steps into the ring. And I sent them a little text message while I was watching it, and they responded back. I told them, I said, whether you win or lose, just climbing up those 3 steps into the ring, to me, you're a champion. That means a lot, because let me tell you, it takes a lot of courage to get into the ring, knowing that you're in that ring, somebody's gonna be throwing punches at you, you can get hurt, you know, or you can hurt the other opponent, and you get those butterflies in your stomach, and it's something that you feel like, wow, you know, it's not everybody that can say, I can climb in that ring and try to beat my opponent. It's not that easy. So win or lose, you're still a champion. And I told them when I sent them that text message yesterday, they responded back, very well said. And of course, that's how I feel about these youngsters. Win or lose, I don't care. You know what? It makes you a better person. You keep yourself physically fit, discipline, self-esteem, confidence level, all goes up. So that's part of helping you get through life to be an adult. When you make it into your own life, then you have to be a champion in life. So when you're a champion in life, it all comes back to how did you start? You know, you started competing, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, boxing, you name it, any sport, hockey, soccer, you name it. You're a champion, and that makes you a better person. I talked to my friend Mike, who's my webmaster, and Mike has a wonderful young man who came here one day, and we were talking. I was giving him some pointers, just like I'm talking to you right now. These kids listen. They listen. Sometimes they listen to the outside, sometimes, unfortunately, more than they do to their own parents. But when they hear from somebody else on the outside, that just justifies what the parents are telling them. And, you know, it just, you get it, it gets embedded in their head. They say, well, you know, my pops and my mom is telling me this all the time, but you know what? Joe was telling me, and the other individuals saying. So we're community leaders. We like to be an inspiration and role models to these youngsters. And they listen. Then they just reinforces what the parents are telling them is what I'm telling them as well. So, you know, life is not easy. It wasn't easy for me growing up. I used to I was chased on the street. They bullied me when I was a kid coming up. And it was very disturbing to know when you see somebody down the block coming, you see them coming, you run the other way, or you're going to come out to the outside of your building, and you see a group downstairs, and you get intimidated, and you back off. I was one of those individuals who was intimidated by these tough, not gangsters, but they were gangs, and they were bigger than me, and they were stronger, and they always called me a punk. They called me all kinds of names, you know. But I got into boxing, and when I was 15 years old, I started competing, and when I became champion at the age of 16, winning my first Golden Glove championship in Madison Square Garden, along with my brother Mike Cortez, it was the great Gaspar Ortega who gave us a push, a vote of confidence that we can do it just like he did, and we did. And you know what? I tell you youngsters out there, if you want to get involved with something, don't be afraid to take a shot. You never know if you can make it or not. You have to take a shot. If you make it, you did. If you don't take the first step, you know, you can always be wondering, gee, I wonder what would have happened had I gone into basketball, or football, or boxing. You got to give it a shot. Most of you guys out there probably have a lot of hidden talent that you don't even know about. I know I didn't have it. I didn't think I had anything until I got into that ring and found out that I had some skills. And of course, you got a good trainer, a good support for the family, and have a buddy system where you got good support from your buddies, not individuals that are going to intimidate you or put you down, but those individuals that will come to root for you and be in your corner and, you know, getting you to win the fight or to whatever sport you're involved with. We have to do more to raise the bar to keep ourselves physically fit. I'm just thinking, and I'm rattling away because I just like talking about my upbringing, because if it wasn't for the great Gaspar Indian Ortega, who was a welterweight contender back in the early 50s, he's what got me started in boxing. If it wasn't for Gaspar, I would be where I'm at today. So I like doing what I'm doing. I like giving a helping hand to individuals. I like to work with my colleagues, other referees, and to, get them on the right track. We make mistakes here and there. We try to minimize our mistakes. And if you look at the history of all the fights that I've done throughout the years, yeah, I made a couple of mistakes here and there. No big deal. We're all entitled to make mistakes. That's why I always said, why do they have an eraser and a pencil? Because we're going to make mistakes, right? So you erase them and you redo it again. So, that's what life is all about. But I'm trying to get these youngsters and you individuals who are already successful in life, get back to the community, talk to the kids, give them the encouraging words. And you see kids doing the wrong things, try to bring them over and talk with them, guide them on the right track, discipline them in a professional way, in a caring, loving way, like I do when I talk to the kids. I'm just trying to do the best I can because it'll be a better world, especially when you work with these youngsters that need some support. A lot of kids, unfortunately, come from broken homes like I did, and you needed somebody to guide you. And maybe you, adults out there that are watching this program, can do the same. Just give an hour or two a week helping these kids. It'll go a long ways. With that said, guys, take care. God bless. Come up to the Hall of Fame.